Hi and welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, on the eve of the Nuremberg International Toy Fair on the 1st and the 5th of February, we have loads of news. There seems to be bits and pieces coming out from everywhere. So in this episode, we're going to run through everything we know now. And then hopefully after the Toy Fair, there's going to be a little bit more excitement and news of new products coming out. But I seem to have a lot on the list. So if you want to know more, stay tuned. So first we kick off with Tamiya, and funny enough, about 2 days ago I saw someone actually post up a picture of this first release, and I commented how cool it would be if we could actually see it again. Little did I know that day actually news would come out that Tamiya are actually going to re-release it, and that is the Audi R8R. Yes. Now when I posted that comment there was no hint, I didn't know about it, so it was purely a fluke. So this is on chassis F103LM. Now it was first seen on kit 58247, and that was the 17th of November 1999. Now believe it or not, we're getting it on the same F103LM chassis. We haven't got any more information about it, so hopefully it's going to be exact like for like. Now price wise, we honestly don't know, and we have a spring 2023 release date. Now, why are we seeing this? Well, it is the 100th year of the famous Le Mans 24 hour, so hopefully this will be the first of a few other cars that we see over this year as they celebrate the 100th year. Next was the Tamiya Blockhead motor. Finally got a video from Tamiya, and I'll put a link in the description, go check it out. There was a few little bits of information we didn't know about. The actual motor is a Silver Can 540 motor, but it actually has got branded on it Blockhead, so it's going to be dedicated to that kit. So this is brilliant to see. Images of the motor, it's a bit lackluster. It's just a standard Silver Can that's got printed in black, but at least it's a slight step in the right direction. Should they embrace that and do more of it? Yes. It's a massive marketing aspect that they're missing out on, bringing out motors dedicated to each kit, making them a little bit special, makes them highly collectible, makes the kits more desirable. Now really would like to see that more on something above a standard Silver Can, but it's a slight step in the right direction, so we have to give them a thumbs up for that one. Now I'm getting a lot of feedback from you, and believe it or not, for once you have quite a uniformed opinion, and that is you kind of like the Blockhead one, but really you wanted the standard box art that we saw previously. Now personally, I don't mind the Blockhead one. There is one big issue, but I'll come to that in a second. But as long as we do see a HotShot 2 standard version afterwards, I don't think anyone's going to really mind. I think where people are going to get a bit upset is if we don't see one. Also, to actually take a Blockhead HotShot 2 and convert it into a vintage HotShot 2 is a lot of work. Being that the body's already painted, there's a few parts that are different. The canopy, the cab part is different. The shock's different color. The body's going to be different. The body's pre-painted. It's just going to be a lot of work to make that work. So I can't really see that happening either. Not many people are going to try and convert it to a standard HotShot 2. So it's a bit of a shame. On the other side, Blockhead, if you look at Jun Watanabe and his shop himself and all his own Blockhead style cars, he does lots of different colors and different themes and things like that, and I think it was a bit of a shame that we got to see the HotShot 2 in the same livery as we got the Blockhead Wild one. I think, you know, as people want to collect Blockhead kits, having his beautiful different colors, like we have the Jun Watanabe's Hornet is a bonkers looking car, and then if you look at some of his other grasshoppers and stuff like that, he does lots of different colors, and I think Tamiya went and played it safe in this one. The Wild one Blockhead did really well, so they didn't want to change anything, so they probably said to Jun Watanabe, don't change the spec, just keep the colors the same, just make it for the HotShot 2. This I really feel was a bit of a mistake. Also, it's good to know that we're going to get the Boomerang again as a re-release. That's the 2008 Boomerang, and that's coming under kit 58418. ETA on that is the 7th of July 2023. Now, a lot of people really wanted that, so it's great to see it coming back again. Now, I have a vintage one myself. I don't think I'll be getting that on the show, as I don't think it's going to be anything really different, but I know a lot of you have been wanting to get hold of that for quite a while. Also, the Nova Fox reissue on 58577, again due on the 7th of July 2023, price about £179. Now I have been gifted a Fox, and it will be on the show soon, but I need to get some parts for it. I went online to try and find some replacement parts, and there's hardly any. So a lot of people that have been wanting to get hold of the Nova Fox, also replenishing some of the stock. This is a definite plus, and for me, so I can finally get hold of some rear arms to restore my vintage Fox, it is good to see this one coming back. If you've watched the videos and you've watched a few and you enjoy it, to hit that subscribe button. 58.6% of you that watch the channel aren't even subscribed. It costs you absolutely nothing, and being that we're such a small RC channel, every new subscriber really helps the algorithm find our content and push it out to more RC fans like you. Right, grab that 6S battery, plug it into that 3S ESC, let that magic smoke out, and take a good whiff. One that is a bit of a mystery that we know's coming is kit 58719, and that's an RC BBX on a BB-01 chassis. Now, we don't know what a BB-01 chassis is. It's a whole new chassis, so that's something to get really excited about. But it does look like it's going to be a buggy. It's got dog bones because we've got a list of parts for the BB-01 chassis, and the dog bones on 22068. There's two pieces, so two-wheel drive, I'm guessing. Is it a TRF a return? Interesting one. As to get a whole new chassis buggy when we had the TD4 and the TD2. Again, you know, a lot of you are asking a lot of questions about this. The wheels, the specification of the wheels seem to be a bit more entry buggy. A lot of you say it could be a beach buggy aspect, which is a strange one. Something like the 1980s Badger Racer kind of buggy and updated to that. We'll just have to wait and see. It's a new chassis, so obviously exciting, but we don't really know more than that. Hopefully at the show in the next few days, we'll get to see some images of it, but we'll just have to wait and see. Another one that I've covered recently is 58721, which is the Fiat Abarth 1000 TCR. Now this is just getting a re-release, but on a different chassis. This is on the MB-01 chassis. It was last released on the 16th of June 2010, but that was on the MO5 chassis. The original one back in 1995 was on the MO2. So to see it on the MB-01 chassis, this is something new. We haven't seen anything else on the MB-01 chassis, so something to look forward to as well. Another reissue that we're actually seeing from Tamiya is the Candy Green Grasshopper. 7th of July 2023 is when it's earmarked for, and that's 47348, and you're looking at £99. Again, nothing super exciting about that one. We've had it a few times. I'm guessing there's one or two of you that are waiting to grab that one, so yeah, a bit... Another one that we haven't got any images for, and this one is what a lot of people have been itching to see, is the Porsche 911 GT3 992. Now this is coming out on the TT02, which again is a little bit of a shame as this body is going to be epic when it's released. We don't have any prices on it, but I looked up the 911 Carrera RSR on a TT02, and that's about £129, £130. So we can assume this is going to be anything from £130 to £150 on a standard TT02. Now one that has been getting your backs up is the TT02 SRX, the all singing, all dancing TT02 that's coming as just a kit form, and that's due on the 21st of February. And why is it getting your backs up? Well, it's £329, and that's going to be kit 58720. I am actually getting one on the show. Yes, I know a lot of you think I absolutely hate TT02s, but I want to keep one in the collection, so I think I'll keep the ultimate one, which seems to be this one, the SRX. But it's a hard sell, and personally I think it's going to tank like crazy. Why am I so negative towards that? Well, it's still a TT02, even if you put trick arms on it, trick suspension and stuff like that. Especially as you could go and buy a TA08 Pro for £279. So would you rather have a TT02 or a TA08 Pro and save a few pounds? Also, the TC01 I've seen in the UK for under £200. So you can get a TC01 with a body and everything for £199. So yeah, how many people are going to buy the TT02 SRX? Me, probably, and that's about it. Now, one thing that's a bit strange is all this information we're getting about all these cars that are coming from Tamiya, but it feels very different as we have a list of all these information on all these cars coming, but there's no real solid data coming out of Tamiya. Now, if they're going to announce at the show in the next couple of days all these cars, how comes they've all been leaked out? This is very different, and it feels very different to me as to what we've had in the past. So I don't know. And also there's no videos, no images. So it's a bit of a strange one why we're seeing this kind of way of getting information out versus what we had previously. Another one of that is the 58714, which is the VW Golf Mk2 16 valve on the MF-01X. Price is going to be roughly around 125 to 175. I had a look today, and the Escort Mark II and the Mark I Golf on the M05. So that's roughly what the price is going to be. But the ETA, we honestly don't know, and still no images of it. Another one that we don't really have any images for either is kit 58716 Toyota Gazoo, I'm terrible at this, and you all hail me for the way I pronounce stuff, Gazoo. WRT GR Yaris Rally, no images, no price. Now obviously Tamiya did bring out the WRC Yaris on 58659. That was on the TT02 as well, and that was £137.95. So you can assume it's going to be roughly the same sort of price. Look wise, well, you can just look at the real rally car and it's going to look like that. As for Kyosho, well, unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know about the Dirt Master 2-wheel drive, the Neo Retro they're calling it, which is basically a retro style RC that has the looks but has the modern plastics and some of the modern designs underneath. Now this definitely feels like it was a response to the Genova from G-Force, and it'll be really interesting to see how it goes, because the G-Force Genova was only in Japan, where this by Kyosho is going to be around the world. And between me and you, I get the feeling G-Force have really missed out and Kyosho are going to come through and take it. I'm definitely getting one on the show, and I'll put it head to head with my own Genova. Now the Kyosho Dirt Master has a lot going for it. We now have the UK pricing for it, and it is very competitive, coming in at just under £200. It's also a kit, has a slipper clutch, and the ETA is the 31st of March 2023. Now since we broke the news on the Kyosho Dirt Master, we have a few more updates for you. The chassis is based on the RB5 chassis from Kyosho, and it hasn't been modified. The plastics have been changed, so the good news is it will run 2S shorty lipo packs, it will run 2S standard Tamiya sort of packs, as well as your NIMH and all that as well. So it's going to be really flexible. And for me, I run a lot of shorties. That's brilliant. The other thing that's really good is you will be able to buy your upgraded RB5 parts and put them on this. And I've kind of already started. Now, the original RB5, you could get composite carbon parts, which is what I've got here. Now, don't let that put you off, because it's more flexible and more forgiving. The carbon composite parts are much more rigid, but I thought it would be really cool, not only when I get one in, I'll do some running with it, but then I'll be able to do some upgrades. I have got more parts coming, but I've snapped up quite a few, and these parts are quite reasonably priced currently. Another announcement from Kyosho is the 1957 Chevy Bel Air Coupe 1/10. A little bit expensive at £305. Yes, that is £305. But don't forget, this is a ready to run, and the body is just stunning. Now it's on a long wheelbase chassis. It's the FZ02L, which is the Phaser Mark II, but the long wheelbase. Obviously, this car is massively long back in the day, so they've had to stretch the chassis out. I must admit, I am very tempted to get one of these. There's a few of these different old versions coming out, and they are beautiful. I've never had one, and I must admit, I am sold. I just need to pull the trigger on it. Also, there is a Kyosho Mark II Datsun 240Z. That's a 1971. ETA on that is the 24th of February 2023. That is priced at £262, so a little bit less than the Bel Air. The Bel Air ETA, again, we don't really know, so we'll just have to wait and see. But Kyosho are nailing these muscle cars, and I must get one in the collection. Finally, we have Schumacher. They've been quietly busy releasing quite a few products recently. The first one that's just about to drop soon is the Cat L1R, top of the line racing buggy, 4-wheel drive. Now, this one is £529.99. There is a video by Schumacher out. I'll put a link in the description. Go see that. So all you Schumacher racing guys are going to be splashing your cash on the latest and greatest. And next is the Eclipse 5 112 Pro LMP chassis. This is dropping right now. It's K203, looking at £309.99, and yeah, quite like that. May get it in. We'll have to wait and see. And last is the Atom 3 GT12. This is due any day now, really. There's two versions available. This is an indoor carpet racing car. You're looking at the Carbon, which is K202, and then there's an S2, which is the lower cost club racer version, and that's K207. So there is tons of car information coming, and as soon as we have the show, hopefully we'll get a load more images and I'll do another report for you with some updated information as it comes out. Thanks so much. See you on the next one. Bye bye.